USL Championship season kicks off tonight, and for the third consecutive season, San Antonio FC will open things at Toyota Field as they welcome in Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC here on ESPN+. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome upstairs to the broadcast booth. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us. The 6th season of San Antonio FC soccer here. And it's SAFC coming off a campaign in which they went 10-3-3, winners of their group and advancing to the USL Championship playoffs for the first time since 2017. But it's going to be a different look for SAFC this year. Only 8 returnees from last year's club that took on New Mexico United in the Western Conference quarterfinals, and a lot of new faces for Alan Marcina in his second season. As we take a look at the numbers for San Antonio FC, some of their newcomers will also include 4 players on academy contracts that were signed this week. The notable returnees include Matt Cardone in the net, PC, who once again will be the captain, and Jose Gallegos in the midfield. But you also see 7 players with MLS experience, and 3 of those coming in the first round. So a lot of talent for this San Antonio FC squad, and Alan Marcina in his second season, but it really all begins in the net. And for the 6th consecutive year, Matt Cardone will be a part of this San Antonio FC squad. He's the only player who's been with the squad since their inception in 2016. Matt, who's got 34 career wins, and his 77 SAFC matches in USL play is second, 16 behind Greg Cochran, who has 93, and that's a record that Matt Cardone will likely surpass before the end of this season. He's been the rock for San Antonio FC for the first 6 years of the organization. He'll look to do it again this year. For Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, they haven't made the playoffs in 4 seasons, and they have their 3rd head coach in the last 3 years as Brendan Burke took over the assignment of the Switchbacks in December. He has rebuilt this squad as well, trying to change the culture in Colorado, and it starts with their midfielder, Jose Torres, formerly of the U.S. national team, 26 caps with the Americans, including a start in the 2010 World Cup. Colorado Springs Switchbacks opening up a brand new Widener Field in a couple of weeks. They're going to look to get their season start with a win here tonight in San Antonio. Should be a lot of fun. Great to have soccer back in South Texas. San Antonio FC, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, as the fans are back at Toyota Field, even in limited capacity. Should be a great atmosphere here tonight. SAFC, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, starting 11 and kick when we return.
Gritty, tough, and virtually indestructible. Toyota trucks were made to withstand anything your weekend might throw at them. Hurry into the Toyota Tailgate event for a great deal on all of your favorite Toyota trucks that were built for weekend fun.
During the Toyota Tailgate event, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus a $2,000 special edition bonus on a new 2019 Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome to the Cooking with the Spurs podcast.
Today's guest chef is Coyote, here to cook a meal.
Looks like Coyote sauteing some garlic, some onions, and some other stuff. That's a lot of smoke.
Does anyone else smell burnt fur?
Coyote should have just grabbed one of HEB's Meal Simple option.
Yeah, those tasty meals would be nice right about now.
When life gets crazy, keep it simple. HEB Meal Simple. Chef-inspired meals ready in minutes.
You all right there, buddy?
Hello, this is Cornell with Frost Bank.
Hi there, this is Terry with Frost.
Good evening, this is Franklin. This is Robert with Frost.
Hello, this is Rosemary with Frost Bank.
When ordinary people do extraordinary things, like becoming an organ donor, you give the gift of life. Without my brother donating his kidney and the world-class surgeons at Methodist Hospital, especially in transplant, I'm not sure I'd be alive today.
If you never have to donate an organ, you're lucky. But if you get to, you're lucky.
You can become an organ donor too by registering at sahealth.com/organ donor.
Welcome back to Toyota Field. Opening night here. San Antonio FC and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC kicking off the 2021 season. Glad to have you with us on ESPN Plus. To look at our starting 11s. First for the visitors from Colorado Springs, Abraham Rodriguez, the 18-year-old, gets the starting assignment in net. 5 appearances last year for the Switchbacks and 21 in his Switchbacks career. We mentioned Jose Torres in the midfield and Haji Berry up top. Was a 2018 All-USL League second-teamer after scoring 17 goals with Swope Park Rangers that season. Coached by Brendan Burke in his first season with Colorado Springs. For San Antonio FC and Ala Marcina's second season, Matt Cardoni gets the starting assignment in goal, 7-3-1 a year ago for the 27-year-old. We mentioned a lot of new faces, but some familiar ones as well. PC in the midfield, who will wear the armband once again as the captain this season. And look out for Santiago Patino up top, the 24-year-old who was the number 3 overall pick in the Major League Soccer Super Draft back in 2019 with Orlando City. We're underway. Happy to have you along here on ESPN Plus, along with our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us. San Antonio FC in their home black kits trimmed with the checkered red and white. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC debuting their new away, what they're calling their Blizzard kits. White with light blue trim. 70 degrees at kickoff this evening, and a lot of rain in the area over the last 48 hours, but just overcast skies tonight. We expect to play this one rain-free. Should be a good one. Great conditions, at least in terms of the weather to start here tonight in San Antonio, particularly when you consider the season beginning almost 2 months later than it normally does. Last year, San Antonio FC and the rest of the USL got underway in the first week of March. SAFC 3-1-1 in season openers, 3-0-2 in home openers. Colorado Springs 5-1 in their season openers, one of which came last season, and they only had one other victory the rest of the year. SAFC winning Group D with a record of 10 victories against 3 losses and 3 draws, finishing with 33 points and a +16 goal differential. Falling in the Western Conference quarterfinals here at Toyota Field 1-0 to New Mexico United, with Chris Weehan scoring in added extra time in the first session and hanging on for the victory to advance. Colorado Springs Switchbacks missing the playoffs last season for the 4th consecutive year. They went 2 wins against 7 losses, 7 draws, 13 points, and they finished 3rd in Group C. These two teams paired together this year in what they're calling the new Mountain Division. There are 31 teams that are competing in the USL this season, split into groups of 8 with the exception of the Mountain Division, which features only 7 teams. San Antonio, Colorado Springs, Real Monarchs SLC, Austin Bold, El Paso, Rio Grande Valley, and New Mexico United make up the Mountain Division this year. Steered out of harm's way by Sam Gleadle. He's one of those 13 newcomers we mentioned at the top. Gleadle was with Minnesota United last season, previously with Reno 1868 in USL play, and a foul upfield will be whistled on the number 9, Santiago Patino, who wears number 9. Patino, native of Colombia, and makes his hometown in Orlando, Florida. 2 goals in 13 Major League Soccer matches with Orlando City, and 3 goals in 24 career matches. Spent time in Sonora on loan at the end of last year. The referee for tonight's match is Matt Thompson, working with Art Aristamayan. Francisco Bermudez are the assistants, and Hector Hernandez is the 4th official. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC trying to get on the attack here early. San Antonio FC last year was outstanding in the first half, outscoring the opposition 17-6. Scored 6 goals in the first quarter hour of the match. Was unable to keep it alive on the touchline, getting forward for SAFC. On the front side there was Nathan, the young Brazilian who played in the youth system and program in Curitiba in Brazil, wearing number 7 for SAFC to begin the year. Switchbacks, Torres with a touch, Zach Zandy upfield. And brought down Over on the far side was Galina. No foul whistled. Mishi Galina, who is down on the pitch there. And we'll see what happened as the referee let it go. And Galina was taken down by Mathieu Deplan. Looked like he caught him just above the boot, but Galina is back to his feet. Mishi Galina, 21-year-old, last year playing with Philadelphia Union in Major League Soccer. Prior to that in Bethlehem, 13 goals in 46 USL matches for Galina, twice named to the USL 20 under 20. He's one of 5 players on this roster with former ties to their head coach Brendan Burke. As Abraham Rodriguez will let it go. Burke was named the head coach in December, joining the Switchbacks after serving as the head of recruitment operations with Philadelphia Union, which won the Supporter Shield as the best point total, highest record, or highest winning percentage rather, in Major League Soccer a year ago. Burke has spent a lot of time as a head coach. This is his 12th year overall as a head coach, both in Reading and USL League 2, and then the Bethlehem Steel, which is now known as Philadelphia Union 2. That's off of Axel Schuber. Going to be the first corner of the match conceded. And Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC will deliver it. Talking with Alan Marcini yesterday, second-year head coach for San Antonio FC, and getting an idea of what this season's going to look like with a lot of new faces. He said, you know, we're happy that we have 32 games which to work with this year rather than 16. It's much more of a marathon than a sprint, because for Alan, it's always about delivering culture, as this ball is driven to the back post and a little bit beyond the reach there on the far side of the attacker getting forward. But with SAFC, a little bit of the victim of their own success, losing several players from last year's squad, including Christian Pirano, who is now in Portugal, and Luis Salignac, who's now playing with El Paso Locomotive, main players up top that provided the offense. Jordan Peruzza, who was, of course, a late addition on loan with Toronto, and he's now with Toronto FC in Major League Soccer. Those are some of the difference makers a year ago. And now San Antonio FC relying on faces like Santiago Patino, Justin Dillon, and Shannon Hopio. Dillon is out tonight, lower body injury. Hopio is on the bench. Those two players who have tremendous experience in USL. In fact, both playing together with the Seattle Sounders USL affiliate, Seattle Sounders 2, and Tacoma Defiance. A foul on Austin DeWing. A set piece here for San Antonio FC in the opening minutes is Cam Lindley, 23-year-old in his 4th season, will deliver it. Lindley, Indiana native, who spent last season playing with his hometown Indy 11, drives this one right into Abraham Rodriguez, Broomfield, Colorado native, who came up through the Colorado Rapids Academy system. One of 5 players on loan to Colorado Springs, the USL affiliate of the Rapids. Makangila, Michael Edwards. And over to the far side, Matt Mahoney, formerly of Sacramento Republic. And a foul back through the midfield. Whistled on defenseman Sebastian Anderson. A little bit of a chippy beginning. Mathieu Deplan gets to his feet, 29-year-old. Deplan, last 2 seasons with FC Cincinnati in Major League Soccer, 48 appearances. Native of Montpellier, France. Rodriguez will come down with this ball. Edwards with pressure coming from Patino up top. Michael Edwards looking in Sebastian Anderson's direction. Deflected out by SAFC. Colorado Springs will keep possession. Playing 4 in the back of Colorado Springs, as is San Antonio FC. Michi Galina got forward. It was in an offside position. SAFC a little careless with the ball. Matt Cardoni there to bail them out. Emil Quayle making the turn upfield. Delivers this one towards the back post. Anderson there as he works it along. Galina trying to send Haji Berry off to the races. It drives it over his head instead. Haji Berry, the Guinea native, 40 goals in his 94 USL matches. Again, remember him from his days with Swope Park Rangers here. Nice ball over the top. Patino's drive is blocked out of play. San Antonio FC will earn their first corner. It was a good ball upfield that ended at the feet of Patino. A nice recovery by Michael Edwards, who forces the first corner of the match for SAFC. That was Jasser Kamiri with the tremendous ball upfield. Jasser Kamiri, the Tunisian native, who is one of several players on loan from Major League Soccer franchises for SAFC this season, coming from the Vancouver Whitecaps. So the first corner of the season for SAFC, they've got there, you see the big Swede Axel Schuberg, who stands 6'7" in the middle of things, along with Jasser Kamiri. This ball whipped in, driven down, and a great opportunity for Nathan early. He got a free header on it in the box. That was deflected out by the defense of Zach Zandy, who's right in front of the net. You see that free header, and there you see Zandy right in front. Another header there for Nathan. Another corner for SAFC, their third in a row. So Cuello's delivered some great balls here. And he'll have another one. Left-footed in-swinger Emil Cuello. Last year playing with LA Galaxy. Cuello. This one a little bit shallow, and it's headed out of play by Jose Torres. Two good balls from Emil Cuello. That last one coming up a little bit short. Cuello, 24 years of age, Argentinian native from Buenos Aires, 20 games of MLS experience, played his collegiate soccer just up the road at Southern Methodist. San Antonio with a throw here, still in the opening quarter hour of the match. 0-0 in the early going, a couple of chances off set pieces. Last year, SAFC had 7 goals off set pieces. And they create the turnover. Here's Cuello driving inside the area. Cuello cuts it back. Cuello shot blocked out of play. And Emil Cuello will earn the 4th corner for SAFC here in the opening quarter hour. Good recovery as Cuello whips this in. That ball lands again dangerously in the box. Colorado Springs able to exit as they drive it forward. Cuello just outside the area and whistled for the foul. Torres went to ground as he draws Cuello into the infraction. Colorado Springs able to alleviate some of the pressure here. See SAFC playing in looks to be something of a 4-2-2 formation. You know, last year we saw SAFC go with what for them was a very popular and a very powerful 3-4-1-2 formation. We're talking with Alan Marcina again yesterday. He says the one thing that he loves about his teams is they're so adaptable to each and every week and each and every match. They don't necessarily go by formation. It's more about what Allen believes are his biggest tenets, and that's being the aggressor with and without the ball. And up over the top is Jimmy Ockford there as he's taken for a ride by Santiago Patino. And Thompson, center referee, the conversation for Patino. Jimmy Ockford, 28-year-old, in his first season with Colorado Springs. Last year playing in Louisville City. Appearing in 11 matches, 3 starts. He wears the armband as the captain tonight for Colorado Springs. And their 2 longest standing returnees not in the starting 11 tonight. That would be Jordan Bert, who has played 7 of his 8 professional seasons in Colorado Springs and has 160 matches with the Switchbacks to his credit. Urani Argueta, the midfielder wearing number 6, has 132 matches with the Switchbacks to his credit. Cuello keeps it in play along the touchline, now drives forward as he brushes off the defense of Matt Mahoney. Clips it across to the top of the 18, inside the area as Nathan drops it off Marcus Epps. Epps drives it across and a touch on, and the rebound, they score! Patino, the header inside the area, drives it home, has the first of the season for SAFC in the 16th minute. Cuello, who kept the play alive along the touchline and then clips this ball across. And set up by Nathan over to Marcus Epps. And Epps getting a good delivery across the face of goal that Abraham Rodriguez got a piece of with the right arm, but it lands right to the free head of Santiago Patino, who ends up in the right spot and drives that one home for his 4th career goal. And another early goal for SAFC, who scored 6 of them in the first quarter hour a season ago. And SAFC, ever dangerous when they get that opening goal last year, 10-1-1. They scored first in 12 of their 16 matches. And they've got the opening marker here, up 1-0 over Colorado Springs. It'll be Patino with Marcus Epps picking up the primary assist. San Antonio FC beginning their 6th season of USL play. Their all-time record, 63 wins against 44 losses and 39 draws. And here at home at Toyota Field over the last 5 years, 41 wins, just 10 defeats, and 22 draws. They have outscored the opposition now with that goal by Santiago Patino, 130-77, plus 53 lifetime goal differential here at home as Axel Schuberg is down on the pitch. And SAFC is unbeaten in their last 13 matches here at Toyota Field. They went unbeaten at home a year ago, going 7-0-1 as part of their 10-3-3 overall record. But they are 10-0-3 in their last 13, dating back to their last loss, which was August 3rd of 2019, a 3-2 loss at the hands of Sacramento Republic. Alan Marcina in his 3rd season with the club, 2nd year as the full-time head coach. In his 7th year overall as a head coach, Alan with an all-time record of 58 wins against 39 losses and 24 draws. SAFC, as they come into tonight in this week 1 of play, missing some key faces as Schuberg will get to his feet. We talked about Justin Dillon out with a lower body injury. Also out with lower body injuries are Liam Doyle and Connor Maloney. And Jose Gallegos, the most notable of that group, the 19-year-old in his 2nd season. Last year, Gallegos finishing with 2 goals, 3 assists in 16 matches. He was second on the club in chances created at 23. And Gallegos drew some attention in the offseason. In fact, recently in the last couple of weeks, Jose Gallegos went on trial to two of the top clubs in Europe, in Bayern Munich of the German Bundesliga and FC Barcelona in La Liga in Spain. Gallegos going on trial for a couple of weeks. He has returned to SAFC, but not available for selection tonight because of a lower body injury. And Axel Schuberg's not going to be able to continue. He's going to come out in the first 20 minutes. And replacing him is going to be a midfielder in Chris Lima. Lima, the 24-year-old who's spent the last 3 seasons playing with New York Red Bulls 2. See what happened again with Axel Schuberg. You see he kind of comes up a little limp after delivering that ball back to Matt Cardoni. So Chris Lima, again, the midfielder wearing number 4. He's in 20 minutes into the game as SAFC uses their first substitution early in this one, but with a 1-0 lead. And we'll see how the formation adjusts. Looks like PC has slid back here on the left side in Schuberg's spot. Meanwhile, Colorado Springs getting on their front foot. Galena, the opportunity, corner of the box here. As he whips this one across, was looking in the direction over on the right side there of Sebastian Anderson, and no foul and a whistle back upfield. Jimmy Ockford. Meanwhile, Patino, or not Patino rather, but Cam Lindley. Slow getting back to his feet after hitting the ground a moment ago. Cuello, the pressure coming, trying to split through the crowd. Cuello is fouled by DeWing. Well, now they're going to call Cuello for the handball. So Colorado Springs will reset. SAFC, the opening goal in this one, Santiago Patino, with his first of the season, coming in the 16th minute, assisted by Marcus Epps. The first goal of the season belonging to the home side. SAFC will earn the throw. You can see and hear the fans tonight at Toyota Field. 3,200 is the limited capacity to begin things in the 2021 season. Another foul whistled on SAFC on Marcus Epps. So he'll come back upfield. Epps, 26-year-old, is playing for his 5th USL club. Was originally drafted by Philadelphia in 2017, but he has spent time with Portland, Memphis 905, New York Red Bulls 2, and the Bethlehem Steel, where in fact he was coached by Brendan Burke on the opposite side tonight. And Epps gets tagged once again here. It's another word there with Matt Thompson, the referee, as he tugs on the jersey there of the youngster Sebastian Anderson. Jimmy Ockford sending it forward. And another foul called on Patino, and Patino will go into the books as the first caution of the season. So Patino's got the first goal of the season, and he's got the first caution of the season coming 24 minutes into this one. Now sitting on a yellow here early in the first half. Last year, SAFC was first in fouls conceded, 258. They were tied for 22nd, 29 yellow cards. They play a physical brand of soccer. We saw that many, many times under Alan Marcina. A foul here on the switchbacks. SAFC will reset. Last year, SAFC had the benefit of playing in a group where just on many nights they steamrolled through the competition, and because of the change in division alignment, they won't see some of their familiar rivals, or at least not as frequently as they've had in the past. They'll have 4 matches with their Texas rivals, Austin, RGV, and El Paso. As part of the Copa Tejas, here is Nathan trying to get on the end of the Emil Cuello header inside the area, but Rodriguez comes away with the ball. But they will not see the Tulsa Roughnecks for the first time in their history this season. Tulsa's in the Central Division, and only 1 match with OKC Energy FC. So 2 of their natural rivals over the first 5 years of their existence, and they'll only get 1 match against the 2 of those clubs. Foul whistled here on Lima. Matt Mahoney. DePlan. Kamiri coming over, foul on Austin DeWing. San Antonio FC. You see those 2 dominant center backs. Obviously an early injury to Axel Schuberg, forcing him from the game 20 minutes in, but Schuberg, an imposing figure at 6'7", 210. Jasser Kamiri, the other center back, 6'4", 190, and even DePlan standing at 6 feet. That back line will be something to watch for SAFC this year in terms of the success level that they have. And so far, they've stood up well in front of Matt Cardone tonight. Mahoney, pressure coming, and good pursuit there. Relentless by both Lima and Nathan. Makangila getting forward. Misses Zach Zandy into the midfield. Nice delivery upfield to Marcus Epps. Better recovery by Michael Edwards, although he concedes possession. Lima will settle as he returns back. DePlan. PC whips this ball across. Patino, make it 2! Santiago Patino gets on the end of the delivery from PC. San Antonio FC up a pair in the first half. Santiago Patino already with a brace 28 minutes into the match on a beautiful ball from PC. Whips it with his right foot past the keeper, Rodriguez. And a 2-goal advantage early for SAFC. So Santiago Patino, quite the SAFC debut. 2 goals and a yellow card to boot as well. He's the second SAFC player to have a brace in his SAFC debut, and you would have to go back to the first ever game for SAFC in Seattle. Jason Johnson, who had 2 goals in that first ever win against Seattle Sounders 2. So Patino off and running, and so are the home side, up 2 goals. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC trying to settle into the match, but already putting themselves in a bit of a hole. The youngster Rodriguez making his 22nd appearance in USL play. He's a small keeper by keeper standards, standing just 5'9", 165 pounds. Mahoney. A good attack build-up here. Haji Berry. Torres concedes and a foul. And the set-piece opportunity, and maybe the first good look at the night for Switchbacks coming up. So Cardoni, who's seen most of the action across the field from him in the first half, now we'll have a look at this set-piece opportunity coming from just under 25 yards out here. And the straightaway look has Michi Galina, Jose Torres over the ball taking a look at it. Sebastian Anderson as well in the conversation. Jose Torres, the 33-year-old, spent his entire career in Liga MX, most recently with Puebla. Torres, errant ball play, trying to run the decoy with Sebastian Anderson. And SAFC doesn't have anything to worry about that. A half hour in, SAFC up 2. And in firm control of the match, Mahoney. Haji Berry making the turn. Some good footwork there. Top of the box finds Austin to wing. Gets the first shot on goal for the visitors. And Matt Cardoni has his first save of the season. And the best buildup of the night, and the responsibility of the 28-year-old prolific scorer, Haji Berry, who set it up with his beautiful footwork before sliding it off to Austin to wing at the edge of the box, and to wing, getting that one off with his left foot, but handled well by Matt Cardoni. Meanwhile, a foul back upfield as Patino got upended. Santiago Patino, you just look at his professional numbers and, you could say, well, it hasn't been a great first couple of years of his pro career, but his pedigree is outstanding. As we take a look once again at the foul, Patino, who played collegiate soccer at Florida International University, had 37 goals in 69 matches at FIU. And it was that goal scoring that led him to be the number 3 overall pick. Play stayed on side for SAFC, much to the disgust of the entire Colorado Springs Switchbacks side. And it results in an SAFC corner. Esqueo will go over to take it. 5th corner of the match for SAFC. To the back post as Jasser Kamiri got forward but couldn't get onto the end of it. And coming out of the pack, here's Galina. Good speed upfield. Haji Berry working across. Ball intended for Berry. Good recovery from Sam Gleedle. And now it's SAFC on the attack. They had 3 going forward, staying onside. The ball was picked off by Michael Edwards. And this will land through Kamiri over to Haji Berry on the edge. Berry inside the box, drops it back. Jose Torres with a shot that's blocked off the back there of Kamiri. Colorado Springs Switchbacks will earn their 2nd corner. So the Switchbacks looking for an answer here towards the end of the first half. Down 2 goals. A brace for Santiago Patino. First SAFC player to have a brace in the season debut since Jason Johnson back in the 2016 debut. The first ever game for SAFC in Seattle. This ball pops high into the air and is swallowed up by Matt Cardoni off the delivery in the corner. Cam Lindley and Haji Berry have a word. PC comes over for some instructions from Alan Marcina after the play is over, and Matt Cardone is waiting for everybody to get back into place. Matt, all-time record with SAFC over his 76 starts in his career, 34 wins against 27 defeats, 15 draws, a lifetime 1.43 goals against average, lifetime save percentage of 67.5%, 19 clean sheets for the Beard. As SAFC comes away with a turnover. Unable to clean it up, though, in the final third. As we play along, Makangila. De Wing off his back foot. Unable to get to it, Sebastian Anderson. It'll be a throw for SAFC. As Sam Gleadle comes over to take it. Gleadle, his time in Reno, 7 goals, 43 USL matches. He's named their best young player in his rookie campaign. He had 5 goals that season as a defender. This is a throw for SAFC here as Mahoney will give it back to Cuello, and he'll give it to PC. Great to have Victor PC Hero back on the field for SAFC. Last year, 1 goal in 14 matches, but led the club in chances created at 24. Oh, Rodriguez lost the ball. And he's going to be awarded a goal kick. Not sure Patino even touched the ball there. Let's take another look. Oh, that's a poor call there by the referee. Haji Berry across field. Edwards. Sebastian Anderson, the youngest player in Colorado Rapids history to suit up in a game at just 16 years of age. As he races forward for this ball off the reset, we'll track it back in the corner. Just to dish it off to the edge of the box, defend it out. Berry controls. Makangila. Deplan moves this one up forward. Patino trying to create space. Nice pass off his back foot. And Nathan was in space getting forward, and he gets drilled and a yellow card. It was served there to Jimmy Ockford, the captain. Ockford throwing out the shoulder there on Nathan. And he's in the books in the 38th minute. So set piece opportunity late in the first half for SAFC, up 2 goals. Patino's got them both here in the 16th minute and the 28th minute. First one coming off the deflection from Abraham Rodriguez, and the second one was a beauty, getting on the end of the service from PC. It's Cuello on the set piece, back into the box, delivered on Frey. Great save by Rodriguez, parries that one to the corner. And the offside flag is up. Or it actually was not. It was going to be called a foul instead over there. It actually was, I think, off Jimmy Ockford. It was. Saved by his keeper. Ockford nearly put it into his own net for an own goal. After his yellow card set up that set piece opportunity for SAFC. Nearly made it 3-0. Beverly Makangila Tripped up in the midfield. Good challenge from Cam Lindley with no whistle. Nathan off his back foot. Makangila back on the ball. Galena. A foul on PC. Reset here for Colorado Springs as we come into the final 5 minutes of the opening half. San Antonio FC up 2. Delaying his run Patino. And now the offside flag goes up. Well, if you're San Antonio FC coming out of the gate here in the first half, getting 2 goals and really driving the attack, you have to be pleased. Again, considering what you're missing here coming into tonight with no Jose Gallegos in the midfield and no Justin Dillon, 2 guys that you expect to be a prominent force in your attack to start the season. Mishi Galena, as he runs on PC, was slidden over to that spot vacated by Schubert. Corner awarded here to Colorado Springs. Their buildup has been better over the last 10 minutes or so, but their set pieces have not been very good. Let's see if they can cash in one here. Cam Lindley will get back up to his feet. Cam Lindley was Mr. Indiana Soccer Player of the Year in his high school days in Carmel. He spent time with Indy 11, Memphis, and St. Louis in his USL career, his 4th USL team. Galena the service into the box. Driven away as Makangila will let it ride out, and that's going to be a throw for San Antonio. Look at the numbers here early on. SAFC has outshot Colorado Springs 6-2. 2 shots that have been on target have both ended up in the back of the net. 4 of their 6 shots have been blocked, which were other great opportunities earlier on in this first half. Just the 1 shot on target for the Switchbacks in the form of the delivery on frame from Austin to wing that was handled by Cardoni, but other than that, been pretty limited for the visitors. They are sporting the edge of possession, 60-39, but it hasn't been the most purposeful possession here in the first half. Again, their build-up's been better over the last 10 minutes, but a half dominated by SAFC making the most of their opportunities in the final third. Lima, Marcus Epps, Cam Lindley, and Lima will get under this one. Gleedle with the overlapping run. Jimmy Ockford drive this one out, and Sam Gleedle will race over to take the throw. 23-year-old Gleedle from Cheshire, England. Patino. That'll be a goal kick for Abraham Rodriguez. Download the official SAFC app. It's available on the App Store and on Google Play. You can purchase, manage tickets, earn points to redeem prizes, submit photos to be featured in-game, and more. It's the SAFC app. Ockford. Jose Torres. Galena. Looking for an opening, trying to tuck it in inside. Mahoney couldn't get to the end of that one. San Antonio FC and Colorado Springs Switchbacks, who did not meet last year, meeting for the 9th time. SAFC with an overall record of 2 wins against 3 losses and 3 draws to the Switchbacks, but they've never lost to them here at home as that bid sails wide. Zach Zandy letting that one go, and Cardoni watched it go wide of his near post. We'll have 2 minutes of added time here coming up at the end of the first half. As Cardoni drives this one, and Nathan will get to the end of it with his speed. Slows it up, Nathan cuts it back, and a great recovery there from Jimmy Ockford. Otherwise, Nathan's got a bid to make it 3 for SAFC here in the first half. Matt Cardoni was potentially sitting on a rare keeper assist as Nathan brought that one down. PC with the throw, Epps getting up inside the area. Makangila, Epps keeps it alive. Nathan with the acrobatics, driving it across the face of goal and to the opposite end of the field. And a throw for Colorado Springs. And Nathan's had a couple of good opportunities here again, just 21 years of age. Brazilian playing in the Coritiba system, both in their youth system and professional program. It is sent over goal by the left foot of Emil Cuello. Good strike though from the Argentinian. Cuello spent some time with Galaxy 2 a couple of seasons ago with a goal in 6 appearances, 20 Major League Soccer matches to his credit. Closing seconds here of the first half and a successful first 45 for the home side. Santiago Patino has got the brace in the first half. Goals in the 16th and 28th minute. A yellow card as well. San Antonio FC is up 2 on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC on opening night at Toyota Field. 2-0, San Antonio FC with the lead. Halftime coming up on the other side. More to come here tonight on ESPN+.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts, but that doesn't mean you can't. Introducing an even easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay, and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Hey, Spurs fans! At Conzone Plus, we want to hook you up with the best NBA experience you can possibly get. Upgrading your fan cave with the latest TVs, audio, and electronics is easy buckets. Plus, with our personalized approach to financing, you can get low payments over time, good credit, or building it. That's what we call nothing but net. The San Antonio Spurs always score big with Conzone Plus. Let's make it happen for you, too.
It's true for PC. Great save by Matt Cardoni. Gallegos to the back post. San Antonio.
only times that matter in this race are great ones. Do it for the cheers.
Hello, this is Cornell with Frost Bank.
Hi there, this is Terry with Frost.
Good evening. This is Franklin. This is Robert with Frost.
Hello, this is Rosemary with Frost Bank.
I wasn't going to let anything get in my way of achieving my goals, which were to be a professional soccer player. So the first opportunity I got at preseason, when a teammate asked if I was dating a girl or something, I just came out to a bunch of my teammates at dinner and said, no, I'm gay. All I needed to do was that one time, because then I didn't lie. Your sexuality should never limit you from playing the sport you love.
Santiago takes the lead.
Yeah, so I think my main goal is simple. I'm really here to try to increase players' workability. So their capacity to train, adapt, develop, and continue to improve just through activation, warm-ups, strength and injury prevention, return to play progressions. So just trying to keep them on the field and perform optimally any way I can. Now we're gonna transition from the activation warm-up into a ball activity to try to prep them for the demands they'll see in our training session when they move up to training field 1, where they'll do most of their session. All right, that piece is done.
It's true for PC. Great save by Matt Cardoni. Gallegos to the back post. San Antonio.
We have been helping thousands of small businesses, not only here in San Antonio, but across our footprint.
Are you feeling lucky? Is it the feel of the room, the night's endless possibilities, the excitement? Is it the sound of the machines, the shuffle of the cards? Are you feeling lucky? Well, you should be. With over 3,300 slots, great dining, top payouts, and Players Club VIP offers when you sign up, you can't help but feel lucky. And the best part, stay the night in our hotel, wake up, and...
Tired of one-topping pizza deals? Try the new $10 Tastemaker from Pizza Hut. Get any 3 toppings you want for just one easy payment of $10. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Oh, you got a fast one there.
Just can't get him to slow down.
This class will help with that.
We get it. You got it. We're PetSmart.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis. To be a successful athlete, you need to have a great strategy. And just like your favorite competitor, at Davis Law Firm, we play to win.
Working remotely during this national emergency, we settled a wrongful death case for $6 million for the family of a father killed by a company van.
That means call the Fours because the Fours are with you. So if you've been in a car truck wreck, call me at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. We'll come to you during this broadcast. That's right, there's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
halftime from Toyota Field here. San Antonio FC on opening night with a brace from Santiago Patino and a 2-0 lead over Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. We welcome you back upstairs to the broadcast booth. I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here. Tremendous opening night performance, not only for San Antonio FC, but for Santi Patino. He's got the first brace on opening night for San Antonio FC since the opening game of SAFC's club history in Seattle back in 2016. Here's how it got started. Marcus Epps early on with the opportunity. Patino there, the header in the 18th minute, putting the rebound off Rodriguez's hands into the back of the net with a free header inside the box. And then it was only 12 minutes later that Patino got on the end of this tremendous service here from PC as he hits it with his right foot and redirects it past the keeper Rodriguez into the back of the net. Santi Patino with a brace in the first half, a yellow card as well, and 2 goals for SAFC, and that's their lead right now, 2-0 over the visitors from Colorado Springs. To take a look at the first half numbers, and majority of them in the favor of the home side, who really control play and really just kind of controlled the tempo of the game. They outshoot Colorado Springs 9-4 in that first half. Both shots on target and over the back of the net, but we mentioned that possession for Colorado Springs. Not very meaningful possession. They did have a little bit of a build-up later on in the first half, a yellow each side, with Patino and Jimmy Ockford both sitting on yellows. And a physical first half for San Antonio FC. 14 fouls, 9 for Colorado Springs. And again, these are 2 clubs right now just trying to get into the feel of the season early on. San Antonio FC on the right side of that field here, up 2 goals. We'll take a break. More halftime coming up when we return to the other side. 2-0 from Toyota Field off a brace from Santi Patino here tonight on opening night.
Welcome to the Cooking with the Spurs podcast.
Today's guest chef is Coyote, here to cook a meal.
Looks like Coyote sauteing some garlic, some onions, and some other stuff. That's a lot of smoke.
Does anyone else smell burnt fur?
Coyote should have just grabbed one of HEB's Meal Simple option.
Yeah, those tasty meals would be nice right about now.
When life gets crazy, keep it simple. HEB Meal Simple. Chef-inspired meals ready in minutes.
You all right there, buddy?
It's true for PC. Great save by Matt Cardone. Gallegos to the back post. San Antonio.
Gritty, tough, and virtually indestructible. Toyota trucks were made to withstand anything your weekend might throw at them. Hurry into the Toyota Tailgate event for a great deal on all of your favorite Toyota trucks that were built for weekend fun.
During the Toyota Tailgate event, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus a $2,000 special edition bonus on a new 2019 Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places.
San Antonio FC up 2 over Colorado Springs Switchbacks here at the half. One other game in the Mountain Division going on right now, Rio Grande Valley FC and New Mexico United. They are scoreless at the half as well. Last night, Phoenix got the weekend off to a strong start, a 4-1 victory as they opened up Wild Horse Pass Stadium in the Valley with a convincing 4-1 victory over Landon Donovan's San Diego Loyal. And Phoenix, you figure they're going to be a team to contend with as well at the top of the Western Conference. And San Antonio FC hopes to be one to join them too. Trying to put away Colorado Springs on opening night. They're up 2. Second half coming up here on the other side on ESPN Plus when we return right after this.
Gritty, tough, and virtually indestructible. Toyota trucks were made to withstand anything your weekend might throw at them. Hurry into the Toyota Tailgate event for a great deal on all of your favorite Toyota trucks that were built for weekend fun.
During the Toyota Tailgate event, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus a $2,000 special edition bonus on a new 2019 Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome to the Cooking with the Spurs podcast.
Today's guest chef is Coyote, here to cook a meal.
Looks like Coyote sauteing some garlic, some onions, and some other stuff. That's a lot of smoke.
Does anyone else smell burnt fur?
Coyote should have just grabbed one of HEB's Meal Simple option.
Yeah, those tasty meals would be nice right about now.
When life gets crazy, keep it simple. HEB Meal Simple. Chef-inspired meals ready in minutes.
You all right there, buddy?
Hello, this is Cornell with Frost Bank.
Hi there, this is Terry with Frost.
Good evening, this is Franklin. This is Robert with Frost.
Hello, this is Rosemary with Frost Bank.
When ordinary people do extraordinary things, like becoming an organ donor, you give the gift of life. Without my brother donating his kidney and the world-class surgeons at Methodist Hospital Specialty and Transplant, I'm not sure I'd be alive today.
If you never have to donate an organ, you're lucky. But if you get to, you're lucky.
You can become an organ donor too by registering at sahealth.com/organ donor.
Opening night here at Toyota Field, week one of the 2021 USL Championship season. San Antonio FC up 2 on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Santiago Patino with a brace in the first half, scoring in the 16th and 28th minute. He's one of 13 newcomers for San Antonio FC on Alan Marcina's roster here on 2021, with 8 returnees for this year's squad, and a few of them not in the lineup tonight, including Connor Maloney, Liam Doyle, and Jose Gallegos, all missing because of injuries. But you see 7 Major League Soccer draftees and 3 first-round picks. Patino leading that list. The Cuellos had a big night too in terms of set pieces. Schuberg left the game with injury 20 minutes in, replaced by Chris Lima. 4 academy contracts this season on the roster. Fabrizio Bernal, along with Abraham Lincoln, Rocky Perez, and Roman Holt. They are the 4 academy contracts. And of course, Leo Torres, the 17-year-old, is now in his second season with San Antonio FC. I was talking to Alan Marcina yesterday about, is this the year the academy players start to have more of an impact for SAFC? And he told me, you know, when we started the academy program back in 2016, we didn't start at the U15 or the U16 level. We started at the U12. And when you think about that, U12 now has only come up to U18 with that first group, and that is where you have players like Bernal, Roman Holt, and Abraham Lincoln, and all those guys are only 17 years old right now. And he said, you know, sometimes, especially the way that USL has gone and their profile has gotten bigger, it's now become the second best league in North America. It is not necessarily fair for teams to put 17-year-olds out there and expect them to compete with men, with professional men. And so he's been thrilled with the progress of the academy. It's really been one of the feathers in the cap of San Antonio FC since this organization began back in 2016. It's been recognized as one of the best academies in the country, Major League Soccer or not. And it has produced a lot of fruits. Leo Torres and Jose Gallegos certainly leading that group. San Antonio FC again early in this second half, getting out on the front foot, will get an opportunity on the corner for the 6th time this evening. As again, it's Cuello, left-footed in-swinger, who will take a crack at it. Jasser Kamiri trying to find some running room there. Patino with the dart to the inside. Nathan coming over. That service is directed out. Sam Gleedle lofts it back into the top of the 18. And headed along and across touch. It'll be a throw for SAFC. Same 11s that began the game to start in the second half, of course, with the exception of Lima on for Schuberg. Schuberg leaving in the 20th minute with an injury to be lower body. And Chris Lima coming on as a substitute. And we'll see what Colorado Springs has in mind in terms of adjustments here in the second half. Haji Berry off his back foot. That's a throw for SAFC. Haji Berry was also an Orlando City draft pick, 13th overall in 2016. 28-year-old in his 6th pro season. Last year playing with North Carolina FC. 1 goal in 15 appearances. A build up here for the visitors. Mahoney slices this one in on Matt Cardone. He'll handle it cleanly and get rid of it. Ball hangs up. Sebastian Anderson volleying it along. DeWing by the touchline. Anderson concedes. Marcus Epps playing forward. Lindley will drive it ahead. Nathan volley it to himself. Can he save it? He can. Whips it back out top. Lima settles and headed out of danger. Marcus Epps. San Antonio with a throw. SAFC last year won on opening night, knocked off the defending USL champions Real Monarchs SLC 1-0. That was on March the 7th. And then, of course, the sporting world came to a halt as the COVID-19 pandemic, we were only in the infant stages of it, but put sports on pause. USL didn't return to play until later on in July. What was a condensed 16-game schedule that took us into October. San Antonio FC finishing with a record of 9-3-3 over those final 15 games, but were never really challenged in their group, as they won it convincingly with Tulsa Roughnecks or FC Tulsa, as they're now known, as the second-place team in the group last year. Mishi Galina using that speed. We saw a little bit of it in the first half, getting forward. Austin DeWing. Haji Berry. Touch off his back foot, moving to the left, loses possession of the ball. And now San Antonio on the counter. They got numbers going forward. PC driving the attack. PC gives it a go and drives it wide. San Antonio had a 4-on-3 rush on the counter upfield. And PC saw a free opening and drove that one wide of Rodriguez's net. Anderson settles. Galina. DeWing makes the turn. Torres. Edwards. Michael Torres keeping it moving. A good possession. Anderson, corner of the box. Trying to drive that one on frame. Blocked by Kamiri. Galina. A little bit of a pick set by Anderson. Galina put a ball into a good area. It was defended out by San Antonio. And foul whistled. Jose Torres, the guilty party. Mentioned Torres has spent his entire soccer career in Liga MX, 261 games for the 33-year-old. He has played with Puebla most recently, but also with Tigres and Pachuca. 26 caps for the U.S. men's national team, and that included a start against Slovenia in the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Torres is a native of Longview nearby. His first go-around in professional American soccer, 16th year pro. He figures to be part of the culture change this year for Colorado Springs. Like San Antonio FC, features a fairly new roster. And fact, some of the more familiar faces for Colorado Springs right now are on their bench. That'd be Jordan Bert, Ronnie Argueta, and the Jamaican Andre Lewis. Barry makes the turn, switching the play across. Mahoney. Another good build-up here for the Switchbacks. Mahoney getting forward, slides it off to his right. Defended well by San Antonio, and that'll be a foul. Matt Mahoney, fifth-year player out of Buffalo, New York. He spent the last 2 seasons in Sacramento, and he's one of those players that have some ties with the head coach, Brendan Burke. We mentioned Burke came over as the 3rd head coach for Colorado Springs in their last 3 seasons. But prior to that, for the first 5 years of their existence, had been under the guidance of Steve Tritchio and the South African head coach Alan Koch, who came from FC Cincinnati, where prior to their elevation to Major League Soccer had been the most imposing team in the USL. And now Brendan Burke in his first year, Massachusetts native, you mentioned, has a lot of time spent coaching in USL, whether it's been in the championship with the Bethlehem Steel or in League 2 with Reading United. Got the Steel to the playoffs in 2017 and 2018. And now he's trying to duplicate that feat here with Colorado Springs, who hasn't been to the postseason in the last 4 years. 2016 was their last visit to the USL Cup playoffs. Nathan cutting inside, goes down inside the area. We play on. Turnover by the Switchbacks. Cam Lindley comes away with the ball. Here's Quayle. Plays it across the face of goal, looking for Marcus Seps. And defended away from him by Anderson. Galena will return to Sebastian Anderson. San Antonio FC can't complete the pass. And a throw for Colorado Springs. Volleyed along off the head there of Zandy. Aji Berry drives it upfield. This play, in the meantime, stays onside. Austin DeWing swinging it back to Zach Zandy, top of the box. Zandy trying to open himself up as he's inside the area. Plays it off the head of PC, who goes down inside the box. Took that ball off the side of the head there, and he's in some obvious discomfort. Watch this ball coming off the side of PC's head, right there. PC's back to his feet, he's okay. Anderson, header goes wide. Good idea there from Matt Mahoney as he got out of that one from Sebastian Anderson's service. Better effort from the visitors here in the first 10 minutes of the second half, but again, in a bit of a hole. They're down 2 goals. If you're a fan of history, though, Colorado Springs and San Antonio haven't met since the final week of the 2019 campaign, and if you remember that night, San Antonio FC needed a result to clinch a playoff spot of the Western Conference. They had a 2-0 lead at halftime over Colorado Springs, and then the Switchbacks came back with 2 goals in the second half. And they ended up equalizing late in that one. Sent San Antonio to an early end of their season as they failed to qualify for the playoffs, with New Mexico getting that final spot in 2019. Of course, they'll look to try to spoil the opening night party here again. Trying Trying to seize some momentum here to start the second half. Jose Torres. Anderson. Running forward. The turn, Galina. DeWing. Back to Galina. He's got an opening. And a great recovery coming back by Mathieu Deplan. Deplan and Kamiri having a couple of words there. A bit of a missed assignment perhaps by Jasser Kamiri there. And forced Deplan to come back over. And you could see Deplan yelling at Kamiri. And the corner is canceled out there by Kamiri. The fourth corner to the match for Colorado Springs goes nowhere. Meanwhile, Patino on the pitch, trying to stay with the play, able to get a whistle. And it'll belong to Colorado Springs after all that. After all that effort, Patino couldn't get rewarded even with the possession. San Antonio does have the throw here. Footwork from Cuello, finds Patino. Patino hits the side of the net with that attempt. Trying to put the finishing touches on what's already been a fantastic night. Santiago Patino is the first San Antonio FC player to score a brace on opening night since Jason Johnson did it back in 2016. He's the first San Antonio FC player to score a brace in his debut since Frank Lopez did it on July 17th, 2 years ago at El Paso. Yeah, the 24-year-old who had a good preseason for SAFC. Despite the fact SAFC didn't come up with any W's in their preseason games. He's turned his preseason performance into a solid opening night display. Foul on Makingila. Shove there on PC. As we get set to hit the hour mark, San Antonio FC with a set piece. PC will take it here. Headed by Nathan, but wide of goal. Got right on the end of it, had a free header just outside the 6-yard box and turned it well wide of Rodriguez's net. Over the top. Good ball here for Sebastian Anderson, getting loose past Sam Gleadle. Gleadle able to recover and comes back with it. That was a great ball from Torres. On the other end, Nathan is impeded on his way towards the net there by Edwards. Michael Edwards, interesting story. 20-year-old is a rookie. He's a homegrown player coming up with DC United, and his homegrown rights were acquired by the Colorado Rapids. He ended up as an American going over to Germany to play in the youth system of Wolfsburg. And spent most of the time with their U17s and then the reserves of the pro side for Wolfsburg. This is his first experience with American pro soccer. One of 5 assignees again from the Colorado Rapids that are playing down to the USL. Galena concedes to Galito. Sam Galito, as Epps makes the run, we'll get to the end of this delivery upfield. And Epps to earn the corner for SAFC. As Edwards knocks that one out of play. 7th corner of the match coming up for San Antonio FC. As Emil Cuello goes over to take it. He's already looked good in these situations. There's only a couple years ago where San Antonio FC was really haunted by their set pieces, particularly on corners. But last year, much, much better. As Cuello delivers this one towards the back post, no one in the vicinity. San Antonio last year, 7 goals off set pieces. For the prior season, only having 2. A big improvement in that area, and they've, although not found the back of the net on a set piece tonight, have looked very dangerous in those situations. Anderson looks it back for Edwards. Switching the play to Jimmy Ockford. Ockford surveying the scene. He's got a little bit of daylight, so he'll take it a little bit further. Mahoney. Anderson will return to Ockford. Ockford will switch the play again to Sebastian Anderson. Anderson. It's the touch on it there. Galena drives it along the pitch. Lima to it first. Calmly plays to Cam Lindley. Here comes San Antonio. Sam Gleedle. Sends a nice ball in Patino's direction. Gets to it right inside the area. Turns, looking for some support. Patino takes a shot. Rodriguez down to grab that one, covering over by the near post. Patino's 3rd shot on target, and the first one that doesn't find the back of the net. Really had no support, so decided to make something out of that. Anderson challenged by Kamiri on Haji Berry, and Berry will come over to take the throw. Early injury to Axel Schubert, but that's really been the only sour note tonight for San Antonio FC. Schubert going out of the 20th minute with a lower body injury, replaced by Lima. A foul on Lima here. So Torres and Anderson over the ball as Cardone looks on, telling his wall where he wants them. Anderson looking to the back post. Well defended. Duplan got over there on the far side, and Mathieu Duplan, who has a lot of experience at top levels of soccer, not only Major League Soccer, but in the French First Division. Starting to see that now here. San Antonio FC's defense has been very, very good tonight. Mahoney whips that one in. Again, headed out of harm's way. Akingila brings it down. Sebastian Anderson forces it through, but Cardone will scoop it up off the pitch. Through 66 minutes here at Toyota Field, 2-0. SAFC with the lead. Santi Patino, pair of goals in the first half. Jasser Kamiri. Duplan. And back to Cardone. Skies this one ahead. Anguilla back for Jose Torres. He'll find Austin DeWing upfield. DeWing running there on PC. PC directs it out. That'll be a corner. And the fifth one coming up here for Colorado Springs. And before we get to that, we'll have another substitution here for San Antonio FC. We'll see the debut of Shannon Hopio. He'll come on for Emil Cuello here in the 67th minute. So Cuello has a good performance in his SAFC debut. Anchor a lot of the set pieces tonight, which didn't convert, but were certainly very good nonetheless. Shannon Hopio, 22-year-old homegrown product of the Seattle Sounders. He's on loan from Seattle. His best season in 2019 into the USL. 5 goals in 25 matches with Tacoma Defiance. A total of 8 goals in 72 USL matches of his career. Galena unable to keep it alive. So Shannon Hopio last year has been a majority of the season playing up in Seattle in Major League Soccer. 5 appearances and 1 start. You see the supporters, by the way, this year, they have moved from where they normally have been the first 5 years at Toyota Field. They've been over in 115, 116, and 117. They're now in the Bud Light bunker. Now known as the Michelob Ultra bunker this year. So good to see the supporters back, and it'll certainly make things in the bunker interesting this year, and will clearly make things interesting for opposing keepers in the second half. Almost like that move to get a little more noise on the keepers of the second half here at home. DeWing unable to run that one down from Zach Zandy. San Antonio with the throw. This match tonight has moved along at a relatively brisk pace. As we get close to the final quarter hour here. Haji Berry. Can't do much there. Epps keeps it in play. Patino, what a turn. Santi Patino brought down in the box, no penalty. Foul will be called here as Lima hits the deck. It's taken down by Jose Torres with a tackle. Torres arguing he got his left foot to the ball before he hits PC. Here's the turn by Patino, and close there. Michael Edwards got beat. Marcina didn't like where it ended up. Santiago Patino trying to become just the second SAFC player with a hat trick. Ever Guzman had one October 11th of 2019. PC leaves it for Lindley, who drives it into the wall. Back to PC, again drives it off the dissipation of the wall, and then Lindley hits it off Austin DeWing. It'll be a corner. It's the 8th corner of the evening for San Antonio. Cuello, who's been in this role for most of the night, but now out with Shannon Hopio making his SAFC debut. And he'll give way to Chris Lima, former captain of the New York Red Bulls 2 side. Lima, another left-footed in-swinger here in this sequence down by the near stick. Low delivery and directed out. San Antonio will have the throw. Colorado Springs getting ready to make their first substitution here, coming into the final 20 minutes. Going to be the Jamaican Andre Lewis who will come on. Lewis, 1 goal and 11 appearances last year with the Switchbacks. Again, just one of a few returnees to their roster from USL contracts perspectives, at least. Gleedle, that shot sails off him, and Abraham Rodriguez will reset things, and Lewis will come on here in the 73rd minute as he'll take out Austin Dewing. So Austin Dewing see his night come to an end after 72 minutes, and here's Lewis on for the final quarter hour plus. It's a poor ball from Edwards, trying to set Anderson loose along the touchline. Andre Lewis, his 109th appearance in USL play, 6 goals to his credit. 26-year-old veteran who was the 7th overall pick by the Vancouver Whitecaps back in the 2014 Major League Soccer Super Draft, has 3 caps for his native Jamaica, including that Gold Cup final in 2013. Some contact absorbed by Nathan, and the foul be whistled. Torres, the guilty party. Nathan will get back to his feet. Cam Lindley setting up the set piece for SAFC. Spins this one to the top of the 6. And a goal kick awarded after it's directed out of play. Jasser Kamiri was, or not Kamiri rather, but Deplam was upfield, redirecting that one. PC running this ball down, send it out. Lewis on the far side, works it back in play. Haji Berry dispossessed. San Antonio drives it upfield. Jimmy Ockford. Back to Rodriguez. Michael Edwards. A little daylight here on this near side for Anderson. "75 minutes in the books. Final quarter hour here on opening night. 2-0 San Antonio FC. Both their goals coming in the opening half hour, where again that was their bread and butter a year ago. Last season, outscoring the opposition 12-1 in the first 30 minutes. Anderson set forward. Cuts it back into the box. Left there off the back foot of Galena, but no one in the vicinity in a Blizzard kit. Galena with it back. Edge of the box, turns, fires. And off the body of Deplan will settle harmlessly down to Matt Cardoni. Grab this one in front of Haji Berry. A couple of substitutions again warming up here for Colorado Springs. As the veteran Jordan Bert and Steven Echeverria getting set to come on. Echeverria will replace Beverly Makangila. And Jordan Bert will take out Matt Mahoney. As Bert, the longest tenured player in Colorado Springs Switchbacks history, spent all 7 seasons with the club. Cam Lindley, after he went down, will come back and have to reset here before he comes back on the field. Now Jordan Bert, the native of Elkhart, Indiana. This is his 161st appearance with the Switchbacks. 22 goals. His role has kind of evolved a little bit. Natural defender, but has played sometimes as a forward because of the lack of offensive punch of his Switchback sides over the last few seasons. Last year, they were 28th in the league in goals for with just 19. As opposed to San Antonio FC was tied for 5th in the league with 30 goals. Akingila gets free, slides it past Cardoni, and puts it off the side of the cage. Not Makingila, but Galina, rather. Mishi Galina. Who got loose and then put it past Matt Cardoni, but off his right foot, puts it off the webbing of the net. And a tough night for Mishi Galina in his Switchbacks debut. Their best looking chance just a moment ago. Patino, as that ball comes through to him. The recovery and the slide tackle coming over from Oxford. Be a throw for San Antonio. Patino's been pretty much dangerous every time he's been in the vicinity of the ball tonight. Lidl takes the throw. Epps keeps it moving for Gleadle. Sam Gleadle turns it towards the byline, cuts it back. And Rodriguez will pick it up. Nathan loses possession in the middle of the park. Andre Lewis. Miscommunication with Galina there. And Cardoni really in no hurry here in these final 10 minutes, plus whatever added time, with the home side up 2 goals. Anderson. Nathan brought down the foul on Edwards. Well, even though it's 3,200 in limited capacity, it's allowed 3,200, and just having ambiance, just having the drums banging and the flags waving, it's a sign of normalcy returning to Toyota Field on opening night. And everybody enjoying themselves, and thankfully the weather cooperated and the rain moved out of here several hours earlier. And this one was able to be played rain-free. And San Antonio FC 10 minutes away from making it a W on opening night as well. Galina drives this one away from danger. PC coming back on the ball. Nathan, as he lost his footing. Terry. That ball sails away from him, trying to get on the end of the service. Here's Epps, two converge on him, trying to cut through it. Gave it up to Torres, and then after Torres was breaking forward, the whistle blows. Torres and Epps with words for one another as they separate as Torres whistled for the foul. If you're just joining us, Santiago Patino in a San Antonio FC debut, scoring 2 goals in the opening half in the 16th, 28th minute with the assist to Marcus Epps on the opening goal and PC on the second goal. And the first brace on opening night for SAFC since Jason Johnson did it in the first ever game for the club in 2016 at Seattle. And the first brace for an SAFC player making his team debut since Frank Lopez in July of 2019 at El Paso. Foul on Lindley there. And the SAFC defense has certainly done their part as well. Back four, even in the absence of the big 6'7" Swede Axel Schuberg, who left after 20 minutes with a lower body injury. PC slid into his spot. They haven't missed a beat. Galena keeps it moving. Lindley recovering Galena. Another errant ball was looking for Haji Berry. And it's been a tough debut for Nishi Galena. Epps jumps over the slide tackle of Edwards. Plenty of daylight. Marcus Epps slides it to the center and driving it over goal, Shannon Hopio. Got the touch on it, but it was way too heavy from the former Sounder, Shannon Hopio. And a great piece of football there from Marcus Epps. And Hopio was the recipient of the two former Pacific Northwesterners unable to connect for the goal. Hopio again spending most of his professional career in Seattle or in Tacoma nearby. Native of Kapolei, Hawaii. And Marcus Epps, who comes to San Antonio from Portland Timbers too. San Antonio FC will make their final substitution of the night, and will be a San Antonio connection coming on with Ollie Wright, the native of London, England, who played his collegiate soccer here locally at St. Mary's. As he comes on for Nathan, who departs after certainly having an eventful opening night and debut with the new club. One thing we did not mention early on in the broadcast is that this SAFC squad is made up of players, 40% who have ties to San Antonio, whether they are from the area or whether they have played locally in the area, like Ollie Wright, who played his collegiate soccer at St. Mary's. The backup keeper, Carlos Mercado, who's from Laredo but played at Incarnate Word. And of course, plenty of San Antonio natives on the club, including Matt Cardoni and Jose Gallegos, not to mention those coming up from the academy, like Leo Torres as well. And it's all part of building a culture, and it's really all part of building a path towards some success in the postseason, which San Antonio FC, as successful of a franchise they've been in their first 5 years of existence, has amounted to just 2 appearances in the playoffs in 2017 and last year. 2017 earning a win over Tulsa Roughnecks before falling in the Western semifinals against Energy FC. And then last year's disappointment in the opening round here at home, the loss to New Mexico. Patino will get on the end of this, and Patino guides it in for the hat trick and his third of the night, and a 3-0 San Antonio FC lead. The first hat trick for San Antonio FC since Ever Guzman. A October of 2019 against Portland, the second in club history. Patino sneaks behind the back line and guides it in, and what a night for Santiago Patino, who coming into tonight in his pro career had only scored 3 times in 24 games, and he's got 3 on opening night. And again, the second hat trick in club history, the other belonging to Ever Guzman back in the 2019 campaign. This Toyota Field crowd loves it. Ollie Wright. Lewis. As we come to the final minutes of this one. Oh, it ends up back here. Galena, and Galena again puts it wide of goal. Twice he's had the opportunity to get Colorado Springs on the board, and twice he has been off the mark. And while it has not been his night, it has been the complete opposite for Santi Patino. 3 goals in his SAFC debut, doubling his career total. The 24-year-old Colombian, who began his career in Major League Soccer with Orlando SC, and just 1 season plus there before they move on. Patino becomes the find for San Antonio FC here, as he starts his career in South Texas with nothing short than a bang. Well, let's take a look at what Santiago Patino has done tonight in his first ever match with SAFC. Heads this one in early on in the 16th minute. Gets on the end of PC's service 12 minutes later, and then guides this one past Rodriguez as he slips past the defense to finish off his brilliant night. And for San Antonio FC, they will extend their unbeaten streak at Toyota Field to 14 as they get set for a match next week with Real Monarchs SLC. Colorado Springs will be off next week. We'll next play in Kansas City on the 14th of May when they take on Sporting Kansas City 2 before opening up their brand new 8,000 seat stadium, the new Widener Field in downtown Colorado Springs, on the 21st of May against New Mexico United. Into stoppage time. Lima. Foul on the Switchbacks. And San Antonio FC. And you wondered last season with names like Luis Salignac, who scored 8 times in just 15 games. Of course, Christian Pirano, who in his tenure in San Antonio had 11 goals in 46 matches, 4 goals a season ago. Jordan Peruzza came on with 3 goals in his final 5 matches. Who would pick up the offensive slack? Well, we get some answers on opening night. Santiago Patino has the hat trick, the second in club history. That's provided all the offense that SAFC has needed. And you can't ask for a better start if you're San Antonio FC, and they'll look to keep it going next weekend when they take on Real Monarchs SLC. And for Colorado Springs, not the debut that they were looking for under new head coach Brendan Burke, but again, the difference about this season is that with 32 games as opposed to 16, this becomes much more of a marathon than a sprint in terms of building culture and the way you want to play. You obviously want to always come up with a W on opening night, but at the same time, as the summer wears on, this becomes a lot more about the process of getting to the ultimate goal, which is clinching a postseason berth and putting yourself in a position to be in the best spot come October. And October, even on this first Saturday in May, still is quite a ways away. As everybody in South Texas certainly knows. 70 degrees tonight, and there will not be a lot of nights where it'll get much under 90 once we get deeper into the summer. Lewis keeps this one moving. Berry turns it wide. San Antonio FC has pocketed the win on opening night. Santiago Patino, the second hat trick in club history, providing all the offense, and a 3-0 win for SAFC over Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, as San Antonio FC is 1-0 on the season and undefeated in their last 14 here at Toyota Field, dating back to 2019. Santiago Patino came in with 3 goals in 24 career matches. He doubles his career total. 3 goals tonight in his SAFC debut, and it amounts to a win on opening night. San Antonio FC will take on Real Monarchs SLC next Saturday. Colorado Springs Switchbacks is off until the 14th, where they'll meet Sporting Kansas City 2. Now for our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss saying so long. This has been a presentation of the USL and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. San Antonio FC, a 3-0 win over Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. So long, everybody.